welcome to this live edition of Dodgers Territory on this fine Thursday afternoon, April 16th. It is an off day for Los Doyers. Alana Rizzo, Katie Wu, Clint Pasillas. We are your hosts for the next 30 minutes or however long we feel like, because the fact we're on YouTube and on pods, we can do whatever we want. Speaking of that, please rate us 5 stars, like and subscribe to Dodgers Territory on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your pods as we try to make our way to 20,000 subs. Buy our new stuff, guys. It is new material on our Dodgers Territory shop.com. It is lit. Baby onesie, baby t-shirt, golf towel, bucket hat, fanny pack, all the things. You guys, let's get the questions in. We want to make this a very fan-friendly, very interactive show. So if you don't mind, get your questions in. We'd love to answer those. We're going to answer them momentarily. Let us get to the big ticket.
Let's talk about a sweep.
Sweep! You said it, right? I said 2 of 3. You said sweep. Clint, you have honors. Take it out.
Listen, I'll keep it short, I'll keep it sweet, and then I'll stumble through it because that's what I love to do along the way. Pitching is 100% the story of this series. It was fun to watch Wrobleski, Yamamoto, and Ohtani absolutely own the New York Mets. And I said last night on my All Dodgers show, it's like 95% the Dodgers being very good at baseball and 5% lol Mets. But when you're looking at your starting rotation, posting 21 2/3 innings, 2 earned runs allowed, and 19 Ks. Of course, Wrobleski didn't hold up his end of the strikeout bargain, only striking out 2. But this is the type of crap, and we're talking about the Dodgers being very good and the Dodgers having a bunch of depth. You look to a series like this, and you look at that starting rotation, and you feel pretty good about their chances for that three-peat. That's where I'm at. That's the thing I really loved about this series.
Katie Wu is there. She's in the know. She's doing all the hard stuff while we just sit here and pontificate about it. It was a good series. I didn't realize, and we're going to talk about this later in the show, KW, about how we thought the Mets were probably the second threat as far as the Dodgers were concerned. They are not, at least right now in this small sample size. What did you notice over the course of the last few games? I mean, the Dodgers pretty good at baseball.
Yeah, slightly good. I knew the Mets coming in, they were reeling, scuffling a bit with their offense. I was really shocked by their overall approach or lack thereof. And, I think that's a testament to just like where they are as a team right now. Carlos Mendoza, their manager, is saying straight up they're not playing good baseball after Wednesday's game. And also the pitching was dominant. I know Wrobleski didn't have a ton of strikeouts on Monday, but he did hammer the zone. And that's what I think sets Wrobleski apart from a lot of pitchers that would be in this fluid role. He's so early in his career. Some pitchers nibble. They're afraid to go after hitters. Wrobleski is like, here it is. Good luck. And no, he didn't get a lot of swing and miss, but he got, because he was so relentless in the zone and because the Mets approach was so not great, he was able to get the results, quick outs, and that allowed him to go a career high 8 innings. And then he turned it over to ace number 1 and ace number 2. Those numbers switched based on the day. Yamamoto, fantastic. Ohtani, lights out. We'll get into both of those. But overall, a really well pitched series, and rested the bullpen. So now, as the Dodgers prepare for this off day and this juggernaut 4-game wraparound series in Colorado, they should have their full bullpen ready to go. And Alana, you know how those series go out at Coors Field. They can get pretty long. So best case scenario for the Dodgers, who are an MLB best 14-4 and are doing this without Mookie Betts, which is even more scary.
I mean, the best thing about being in Colorado for 4 days is snooze. It's the greatest breakfast spot ever. It's at Union Station. Go ahead and get in line now because they don't take reservations, and it's bananas. It's right by the ballpark. Let's talk about Ohtani and the domination. I almost said denomination. That's just 700 million. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how much he dominates, you guys. I mean, it was interesting when he was like, when Dave was like, hey, I'm not going to have him hit today. He's just going to pitch today. All he did was strike out 10. It's fine. I mean, the guy is just absolutely ridiculous. There's a lot of jokes coming from this too, which we will talk about later in the show. But Katie, you witnessed it. I mean, he's just so much fun to watch. And John Smoltz, Hall of Famer John Smoltz, said that if he just pitched, he would be like Jacob deGrom in terms of domination. And Shohei Ohtani, he looked every bit of that when he took the mound.
Yeah, I was surprised when the lineup came out and there was no designated hitter, Shohei Ohtani at the top of it. And Dave Roberts said that this was a one-off. Remember, Ohtani was hit by a pitch on Monday's game, right in like the upper back shoulder area, the scapula, if we want to get technical. And Dave Roberts said if Shohei Ohtani had not been hit by a pitch, he would be hitting yesterday. So first time in almost 5 years where Ohtani was not a two-way player on a day that he was scheduled to start. He said he was surprised at first, but agreed to the decision. It just kind of goes to the Dodgers' load management of him overall. And then he said he didn't really sense anything different in between innings other than he felt like he had a little bit more time to game plan. Now, don't worry. He's still going to be a two-way player. Dave Roberts, was a big question. Like, Dave, is this going to be a thing for you guys? This is a trend. Are you going to sit Ohtani during the start days? Most likely not. It's got to make sense, as Dave Roberts said, to take your best hitter out of the lineup. But given where Ohtani was with a hit by pitch, some lingering soreness, he felt fatigued after his first two starts. This decision only for yesterday made a lot of sense, and you saw 6 innings of dominance, 10 strikeouts, established the fastball, and just kind of unleashed the arsenal from there. Everything was working. My favorite part about yesterday's game was, as we know, Ohtani comes in, hadn't allowed an earned run, top of the 5th comes, that first earned run. And he says, what the hell, I don't do that, and dialed it up 4 straight heaters over 100 miles per hour, his 4 hardest thrown pitches of the game. Ends the 5th inning, leaves the tying run, stranded at third base, comes out for one more inning of work, strikes out the side on 3 different pitches. Business as usual, casual.
All right, wait, Clint. Before you talk our DH yesterday, I do have a question. Let us pretend that Clint and I were not homers. Let us pretend that Katie wasn't a trusted journalist. Do we, meaning the Dodgers, baby Shohei Ohtani too much?
Fair question.
No.
No? Fair. Tell me why. Tell me why.
Quinn, you or me? You or me?
I want to hear from you. You're the outside. You're the objective observer.
You're the one that has the credentials. We're just here.
I think, given what he's done in the last 2 years, 2 significant elbow surgeries, the Dodgers, we talk a lot about their load management. They don't need pitchers in April. They need them in October. It makes sense to do this. And this is coming from someone who objectively loves to see Shohei Ohtani as much as possible. Like I said, I was kind of like, not annoyed, but like, where is the leadoff hitter in this lineup yesterday? But I don't think they're babying him. I think this is really smart, because if you lose Ohtani for any point of time, that is an irreplaceable, you can't even like talk about the magnitude of a loss that is in your lineup. And that's coming from a lineup that is stacked with superstars. So he's a generational talent. He's the best player we're ever going to see in this game. Be cautious with him. It's working. They're going to keep the 6-man rotation likely through the rest of the month, given the off days. They're also going to try to stack up his start days with the team off days, similar to what they did last year. This is all by design, so we can keep enjoying Shohei Ohtani. We all want to get greedy, right? We all want to see as much Shohei as possible. We want him taking 5 at-bats every day and taking them out every 5 days. But if we do that, we're going to lose him. So the Dodgers are really smart to schedule him the way that they are. He has seemed to be very open to it and understanding. Obviously, he wants to play every day too. But this is what's best, and what's going to allow all of baseball to enjoy as much Shohei Ohtani as possible. And we're 3 starts in, but he sure looks like already, once again, one of the best pitchers in the league.
You know, it's funny what we're talking about, losing the best hitter in the lineup. I didn't see that much of a difference without him in the lineup. Yes, of course you do. Dalton Rushing is not the player.
I'm like, are you insane?
That Shohei Ohtani is. But hey, even what did Joe say after the game? Well, I guess Rushing saying, like, I'm going to get used to it. Shohei said, or I'm not going to get used to playing like this or whatever. And Shohei said, like, hey, listen, we got a pretty good DH out there. That's the one I really want to focus on here.
Super cute.
Dalton Rushing getting into that lineup hasn't, like, early in the season, extremely small sample size. It hasn't been much of a loss in terms of what he is doing. And then, you know, looking at that recent action, which his whole season is technically recent action. 4 homers. He had the grand slam last night. Shout out the Dodgers for not listening to us in the early parts of the offseason and not signing the airbender there. We appreciate him setting that spot up. But having Ohtani take a couple, I'm not saying every time he starts, but if it's every couple of starts, maybe once a month, you give that DH spot to Dalton Rushing, because you got to keep the kid fresh. You got to keep him in the lineup, keep him relevant. That's a word that Dave loves to use quite often, keeping these guys relevant. And right now there are fewer people on that bench, of those bench dogs or bench mafia, as somebody called it last night, which I like. There are fewer guys that are hotter and more deserving of playing time than Dalton Rushing. So if this is the path to getting him 4 more at bats once a week, I think Shohei, or not once a week, once a month, Shohei can take a little bit of a rest and understand it's more about the team than him, even if everybody wants to see him do it both ways. It shouldn't be every start. It doesn't need to be every start.
You know what's crazy too is I think we need to, and I was thinking about this, and we talked about it in our production meeting today. I think this also is an illustration of how good Andrew Friedman and Andrew's staff, his scouting staff, and all the things are about building an unbelievable farm system, right? So when we have Will Smith, obviously, who they signed to a 10-year, $100 million extension or whatever it was, he's your guy, right? Austin Barnes gets released. You have Dalton Rushing. Dalton Rushing could have easily been a trade piece at the deadline or in the off season. And Andrew and his guys, girls, staff, found a way to keep Dalton Rushing. And it's very rare when you can have a team that consistently reloads, not rebuilds, but reloads and still has a very deep farm system. Let's give kudos to Andrew for keeping Dalton Rushing, to be able to do these types of things, knowing what you have in terms of talent and what you can expect to have in terms of production. And Katie, I'm interested to know in terms of your perspective about Dalton Rushing. I mean, he's a good key cog in this whole big puzzle that is the Los Angeles Dodgers, because it's not going to take the 26. It's not going to take the 40. It's going to take beyond that to get them where they want to be.
And the Dodgers front office has talked about this a lot, about staggering contracts. It's why they were looking more at the shorter term deals as free agency than the long ones. And you can also kind of stagger the catcher spot. Dalton Rushing is a good enough catcher. I mean, he was a top prospect for a reason to be the starting catcher for, let's say, at least 25 other fan bases. And credit to Andrew Friedman for understanding that eventually the Will Smith era, hopefully not for a long time, will come to an end. And then you have a successor that's already following after Will, that's learning how to be a Dodger, learning how to be a professional, playing in front of 50,000 a night. They have the same agent. They're close. They can work with the same pitching staff in the same meetings. Should allow for a seamless transition when the time comes. And we're nowhere near that. We're just thinking ahead in the future. But also credit to Dalton Rushing, who came in last year, had never not been the guy. He'd never not played at least 5 games a week. He's learning how to take 5 at-bats per week if he's lucky. And his whole job is to not even get on base, but to turn the lineup order. He's hitting 8th or 9th. That's a completely different role than he's used to. And he struggled. And I think he's been pretty candid about how he had to come into this season and not accept that role, but kind of embrace what is required of him in the moment. And that switch in mindset, I think, has led to a lot less pressure that he's putting himself in the box. And we're seeing the box score reflect that. I mean, ambushing the first pitch challenge changeup, that's Devin Williams' best pitch. And just kind of Dalton Rushing kind of understanding in the moment, like, I can do damage here if I just trust myself. My job here is to just hit when I'm ready and not do too much. And then swats his first career grand slam. That is so much growth that we're seeing from Dalton in just the first 3 weeks of the season. So I think it really is a credit to the switch in mindset that he had to come into for spring training. Dodgers are certainly benefiting from it now.
It's unbelievable that you say that, because I've covered this great game of ours for 20 years. I've been doing this a really long time. It's funny how, I'm not going to say my age, but like literally we're all 10 years apart. I'm just going to go ahead and say that Katie's the oldest. But you mentioned embrace versus accept. And that is a huge deal. He's not accepting it. He's embracing it. Can you expand on that, please? Because that is so important. It's like, it may not define you, but this is who you need to be right now.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I feel like if Dalton Rushing comes in and just accepts that he's the backup catcher and this is just kind of his role, is he really putting in the work to make sure that this is temporary or that he's in the best position to succeed when he's called upon, rather than if he's embracing it. You can see him going with Will Smith to lead the pitchers meetings, taking control when it's his turn to hit in the cage and hit on the field. You can see the extra work that he's doing. And like, he's not saying I'm okay with being a backup catcher. He's saying I'm okay with this role being what the team needs from me right now. And I'm going to take as much advantage of the extra opportunity that I have when I'm not game planning to make sure that I'm ready for when they need more of me. And yesterday they needed more of him, and he answered the bell in ways that I think he's been able to do all season because of that mindset.
Pretty good. He's pretty good. And the Dodgers, again, in a very advantageous spot. I jokingly said before the show, and we got to take a pause for, station identification here.
Comedic effect.
For comedic effect. No, talking about, eventually throwing to a break here, and we'll come back, continue the conversation because this is enjoyable. Hopefully people are enjoying it. Hit that like button, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff if you are. But I jokingly said, the 25-man roster there's no weaknesses. Now you expand to 26. Alex Freeland is on the roster. He's been a struggle bus. But listen, he's still young, and you still have Tommy Edman eventually coming back. You have Mookie Betts coming back. Also, we haven't given any love to Haesung Kim, who wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the injury to Mookie Betts. And he is playing a goddamn good shortstop. And he hit his first homer of the season. There's so much depth. There's so much talent. And yeah, it's about everybody accepting, understanding their roles, and embracing the roles that they have right now. And Dalton's doing a great job. He doesn't like it. He shouldn't like it, but he's doing a great job.
That's the thing. That's the thing. He shouldn't like it. That's huge, right? You want guys that want to be out there every day. You want guys that are fighting their way into the lineup. You want guys that want the ball in the worst situation. You want guys that want, I love that. That's a great way to put it. He should not like it, but to Katie's point, he's embracing the role that he's been given at the time. Love it. We're so good. This team.
Hey, want to know why? Because Riz, outside of your Wi-Fi that's struggling a little bit right now, we have Liquid Analyst. We have a little Liquid Analyst.
I'm a saint today. I'm a saint.
Why is my Wi-Fi all jacked up?
How about we do this? One, we got to get Katie some booze, which she doesn't have in the house, so that's a problem. But two, Riz, while I play this break, Alana, you jump out and jump back in. But we'll be right back after a word from our friends at Foul Territory.
Kratz, the world has a cord problem. Wires everywhere. It's 2026, and it is time to get a
Ridge Wallet 5-in-1. It's not a wallet, it's a charger. Look at this thing. It sticks to your phone. You push the button. It charges your phone while you can charge 2 different items at the same time. Oh, and don't forget, while it's charging, you got a little lean-to, John. That'll help it sit right there. Appreciate your Ridge Wallet. This is so nice.
Which is great for me. If I'm at the airport and I'm watching a game, I can charge 5 devices and then I can just watch something on the phone. Of course, they still have the wallets that are money too. And we know the code. It's nice and simple. It's FOUL, F-O-U-L. 1 thing to pack, 5 ways to power. You can find Ridge's power bank at Best Buy, or our listeners can get 10% off at ridge.com by using code FOUL at checkout. Head to ridge.com, use code FOUL, and you're all set. After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support FT and tell them we sent you.
I never get tired of that bass line. Never get tired of that horn. This is Bleeding Blue. It's an opportunity for people to jump into the chat. Chat's been going off. We appreciate that. A lot of people hanging out with us live. If you're looking for a different way to continue to support the show without just hitting that like button and subscribe, check it out. We do have YouTube members set up now. $3.99 a month. You get an emoji. You get different badges. There's going to be polls we eventually start running that you guys will be a part of. Just our members will be a part of, helping kind of write some different segments or different thoughts in the show. There's also, I think, a 5% discount on the store. So go check that out. We'd appreciate it. Click that join button right here on YouTube so we have enough money to get a bottle of, what is it, like whiskey? What kind of, what's your drink?
No, I'm an Arizona State grad. It's Tito's or bust.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Is Tito's from Arizona?
No, I just
no, just really dirty people are out there. ASU people, yeah, they're.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice. All right, so
I mean, she didn't disagree.
That degree is prominently displayed behind me somewhere. I don't know what it's worth. But go with my Devils.
All right, no gun. Wait, I want to know this because we have time, and who cares? What gun to your head?
To be fair, I was just asked this question.
Last meal on Earth, and what's your non-alcoholic and your alcoholic drink of choice?
Oh my gosh, last meal on Earth is probably In-N-Out. I just know.
Welcome to California. I know you're from California.
I was deprived, and then I don't know what my beverage is. I think I just take a shot, right? Embrace it. You're going down. Yeah. Tequila shot. Those usually knock me out anyway, so it'd be like a nice little precursor.
I want tequila, little time.
I don't know if you pay attention. Whoa, I don't know if you pay attention to the chat, but holy shit, you're a star. Rioja here in Barcelona. Happy to send a bottle to the famous author, Katie Wu.
Author.
Katie Wu is cute. I don't want to admit.
Capital J.
I don't know. Hang on. There's more. This is so awkward, and I just don't give a shit. Because you know what? I'm on the back nine. I do not care. All right,
Riz,
what are we talking about?
How about this? We got more. Julio wanted to know, and I'll just put it up here for now, and then I'll go to a better screen when I'm smart enough to remember to do that. Julio was asking Katie how the interactions are with the players so far as you get settled in, Shohei, and just telling us in general. Have a great day. But how has the assimilation into the Dodger clubhouse been for you?
Honestly, it's been great. And, I've been lucky enough to be able to work in professional clubhouses for several years now. But when you walk into the Dodgers clubhouse, well, to be fair, there's not usually a lot of players in there when we walk in.
Never.
They have a lot of meetings. They got a lot of early work. That's why they're good. But I will say the reception of players, early work. Yeah. I know their system. They're available, and they're total pros. And it is very clear to me that they take every responsibility, even dealing with the media, seriously. One thing that stood out to me about Shohei is we don't see him a lot. When he is doing his post-game scrums, and obviously I don't really know what he's saying at the time because he's speaking in Japanese, but he talks to each reporter. So whoever asks him a question, he'll talk back at them and hold eye contact and communicate with us. And I'm nodding around yeah, I get it. I have no idea what it's saying. Thankfully, Will Ireton exists. But it strikes me the personal connection he tries to make and the intentionality that he does when he's talking to reporters, both in English and in Japanese. You don't see a lot of players do that often. And I mean, I think it'd be you would know where to look anyway, because there's 40 reporters there. But I do appreciate Ohtani, who's always holding the eye contact and talking to you when he answers the questions, when it can be easy and understandable for players just kind of look into the abyss and answer questions.
Yeah, he's good. He's real good at his job. I was thinking about that earlier, Alana, thinking back to that first series in Tokyo, and then all of I think it was in Tokyo, it might have been the Seoul series, but all of the drama with Ippei and just that change, Dave has talked about it as well, that change in Ohtani from then, we saw
made him human.
It humanized him 100%. He didn't have his wall of protection / hey, I don't want people to find out that I'm doing some shady shit using his money. But anyways, I really love this version of Shohei we're seeing. We got some questions in the chat.
Yes,
this one,
the first one I wanted to bring up is Dodger Dog 721. I'm assuming your birthday is July 21st. We're going to have too many players. Where is Kiké going to fit in? We've talked about this a lot. Clint just said, the 26 man is a little suspect with Alex Freeland. Katie, what's your thought about what?
Respectfully.
Oh, respectfully. Yeah. What is your thought about when Kiké comes back? Is Alex Freeland the odd man out?
I think that's why part of the reason why the Dodgers elected to have Freeland on the opening day roster, and we talked about this before, they know what they have in Ha-Seong Kim and what he can do. They don't know what they have in Alex Freeland with consistent playing time. And it's also when Mookie Betts went down, and why they decided to platoon shortstop instead of second base. They want to give Alex Freeland as much opportunity as possible so that he makes the decision hard for them when Kiké, who right now is trending to return before Tommy Edman, comes off the IL. Mookie Betts still kind of progressing, hasn't gone all the way to full swings yet. Obliques are tricky, we know this, but he seems to be in good spirits. So we're going to continue seeing Alex Freeland. But when Kiké comes back, if the Dodgers don't see better production, that's the decision they're going to have to make, because Miggy Rowe isn't going anywhere. I think with Kiké, he can come in, and I think Miggy Rowe and Kiké are really here for playoff reinforcement, right? We saw this series last year. When shit is on the line, you want the guys there that know how to win in the postseason. And both Kiké Hernandez and Miguel Rojas are postseason caliber players. They just have a different level in their game that make them successful in the playoffs. So you'll see Kiké just kind of being that utility, rolling around the infield. I don't know what this means for Freeland. He has X amount of weeks to turn the production around. And the Dodgers feel like they already know what they have in Kim. But if he continues to produce, he is playing a fantastic shortstop. The bat's starting to come around. That will be a different kind of conversation. So right now, it's too early to tell. Teams don't like to project weeks ahead because an injury can change things like that. But I would say the pressure's on Alex Freeland a little bit to start picking up the production.
And beyond that, of course, at some point, this team's going to get Tommy Edman back. You're also going to have Marcus Lindbetz back in the lineup. If you're looking at guys that are, and this is not coming from a place of like talking crap or whatever, but guys that will be on the chopping block, Santiago Espinal, Alex Freeland, and then it's going to come down to those really difficult conversations. What are you going to do with Ha-Seong Kim? What are you going to do with Alex Call, who's had himself a fucking great season, very underrated in the small amount of playing time that he is getting, pimping, walks and all that, a la Kenny Lofton. I really like Alex Call, friend of the show, but this is how you make teams that aren't, with all due respect, the St. Louis Cardinals, by stacking up a shit ton of talent. Listen,
I had a player say that the other day. They were like, no offense.
No offense. With all due respect, as long as you say with
you're
all
like,
due
none
respect.
take it. You're like, yeah, Clayton, Missouri. I mean,
hey, we got another
Clayton,
one.
Missouri.
We got another woo question, St. Louis here from Steven. It's either Stevena or Stephen A. Banks, whatever. This guy says, Katie ever eat the barbecue pig snout while covering St. Louis?
Oh, hell no. You couldn't even get me to eat Emo's pizza. No way.
Forget ew.
No.
That seems a little bit sus. Rosman is in the chat, by the way, asking somebody else in the chat what they're having for lunch. And this is just my shameless opportunity to say this is my breakfast and my lunch so far, because Riz said we're drinking. So I'm drinking a Howard Mountain Dew. It is 12:30 my time. I have had coffee and Mountain Dew, end of list
hard
today.
Mountain Dew? That's a thing?
Fancy. Mountain Dew, sponsor your boy.
I'm at a loss for words.
Listen, it's good stuff. It's good stuff there. What else?
All right.
We have?
All right. Are we spinning forward to the Colorado Rockies?
I am using the power of Matty Man 5 Dodge here, who says Coors is a trap series. We got to talk about
it. Can be. It can be Matty Man 5.
Yeah. Talk about that Rockies series where we're gonna see who are we going to see again? I forgot who's in that slotting up in that rotation so far. Katie,
well, all of our aces just pitched, right? Yeah. Yamamoto, Shohei, and Wroblewski.
Sheehan first, or is Glasnow first?
Glasnow, Sheehan, Sasaki on Sunday, Wroblewski on Monday.
Gotcha.
That wraparound series is so weird. 4 days in Colorado. That's my hometown, bitches.
There it is. We got a little bit of
Born and raised.
Glasnow, Sheehan, and full transparency, Alana was wearing a Denver shirt before the show, and it was like,
no, I was wearing a Denver Broncos shirt, not a Rockies shirt. Don't get it twisted. Don't throw me under the bus.
But everybody's favorite pitcher going for the Rockies, TBD, both days so far. I honestly don't know if the Rockies have any starting pitching. But Katie, we'll get back to Capital J journalism here. You penned a column today about where the Dodgers are at in terms of that starting rotation, keeping it to a 6-man rotation. What more can you tell the fine folks here on Dodgers territory about what kind of the rest of the plan is, or I should say the plan is for the rest of the month?
Just kind of business as usual. I really like the 6-man because it opens up another spot for another pitcher, and Justin Wroblewski's coming off his best start of his career. And it also just keeps everyone healthy and it keeps everyone rested. And there's no reason to rush through April trying to just get as many guys as possible, 5, regular rest. The Dodgers have the luxury of pitching depth that many teams don't have, so why not use it to your advantage? It's not just for Shohei. It's for Yamamoto. It's for Sasaki, who obviously has some things to figure out. It's for Emmett Sheehan coming back. He's going to be a big part of this season. He needs to stay healthy. Same with Glasnow. These are all guys that have had injury histories. Injury histories, yes. So making sure that you have, and you can utilize the schedule with the off days, everyone kind of pitching once a week right now through April not only opens up that spot for Wroblewski to see more starts. The Dodgers do believe that his long-term potential is a starter. It also just keeps everyone rested. Blake Snell threw another live yesterday. I believe he'll repeat at least one more, and then we'll start talking about a rehab. But right now, what's the point in pitching everyone on traditional rest when you don't have to, and your sixth man is arguably better than two of your other pitchers in the current rotation. What a life.
What a life.
What a life. Couple of super chats we appreciate. So this is Roberto Hernandez, 2258 super chat, $2 from him. Next 7 games, division rivals, which is true. Go back to the other one, Clint. That Colorado games in Colorado don't
Pat Dwyer
count.
with the $10.
Yeah, Fatty D. Games in Colorado don't count. Well, they may not in April, but they will in September. So yeah, here's the thing. What
they said? They all count. They're just dumb. I hate Colorado.
They do all
just
count.
stay healthy.
So I'm gonna.
That's
This is a random question that I'm gonna ask Katie Wu. So I lived in Manhattan Beach I lived in LA for 7 years, 5 of which were in Manhattan Beach, and now that's where my girl is. And I see her posting all these pictures of like I'm on the beach and this is like amazing and what is your favorite thing to do?
Work on your copy, by the way, Wu. Work on your copy.
Sorry.
Like what's been your favorite thing so far? Like what's been the best part of it? Because so this is no BS. I swear to you guys. Born and raised in Colorado, lived there my whole life. When people ask me what is home, I say LA, which is crazy, right? I was only there for 7 years. I just want to claim it. I want to claim Los Angeles. I want to claim California. It means that much to me. Like when I fly into LAX, like there's just like, I don't have a soul. I don't cry. But like when I fly into LAX, I'm like, la. So what's been like your impression so far? 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the season, just like living there, Manhattan Beach, the Strand, all the things. Go.
Well, seeing the sun on a regular basis has really done a lot for my mental health. I've enjoyed that part. And being from California, I know Northern California, Southern California are like 2 different states. But a lot of my family is in California. I get to see my brother and his girlfriend at least twice a month. And what's hard.
Brian Wu? Is it Brian Wu? I'm just kidding.
Somehow. We're both from the Bay Area. I think I'll figure it out. I'll do some investigative journalism.
For that. That's what that deserved. That deserved to be.